Happiness through curiosity on the Ranveer Show. How do you look at Silicon Valley and San Francisco generally? Is it always going to be the center of tech in the world, or?
Yes, they have a big advance. Not for the reason we think. The main reason is the cash. They have so many VCs or old ex-Google employees with plenty of millions to invest that basically any idea can live there. And when all the ideas can live, some of them will be good and will make a good company.
Do you visit?
I have an office in San Francisco, yes. And before our office was in Silicon Valley, and I lived 3 years there.
You lived 3 years?
With the family, yes.
Tell me everything, man. Like, what was your life like? What were the conversations like? Did you actually get a view of the future? Did you have conversations about AI back then? Which year is this in?
It was
2011.
7 or 8 years ago, so...
2015?
Yes.
Around that time?
Yes.
Was there talk about Sam Altman, OpenAI, all this even back then?
No, it was not. Nobody was talking about AI at the time.
You enjoyed your time in America?
Yes, very much. I prefer India because of the experience. It's so much. San Francisco is very much like Belgium. It looks like a European city. So it's the closest you can get from a European city in America, I would say. And India is so much different that I like because of the experience. In the US, it's very different from here. The Americans have a totally different approach to purchasing a software. In India, I told you it starts with the price. How much does it cost? And then we look at the software if it's good or not.
How do you sell to an American?
An American, you have to make him dream. He wants something beautiful, super clean. He wants to dream. It's emotional. And it has to be perfect. If an Indian, if it's not perfect, he will find a way to use the product. He will always succeed to use the product.
In India, it's just the price point as the sell.
And if it's not perfect, he knows he can use it. It's okay, there is a small bug there. He will just turn it around and use it differently. And for them, it's normal. In America, it has to be very good, super clean. They are so used to have very mature software on their market that they are used to the perfect everything. And so for me, it took like 2-3 years to make the product up to the standards of what an American expects.
Damn.
That's why I relocated there, because I had to understand what exactly that. But once you get there, then it gets easy because they are huge consumers. They even buy everything on credit, so they can put a lot of money once they like the product, and very quickly.
The way you learned about WhatsApp marketing in India and then took it to the world, I'm sure going to America forced you to become a way better product, and then you took that way better product further.
My challenge for the America was more the design. That our design was not on par with the standard of Americans at the time. No, it's very good, better than the best. But at the time, our product was super powerful, but design was not as clean as what an American expects. So we had to fix that in order to start the American business. Now it's our number one country in terms of revenue.
And this is because of the feedback loops in America. You spoke to customers. They said that
you meet customers and you spend time trying to sell. It's a good thing to try to sell for yourself. Go on the phone, doing demos with customers, check how they react. And then you adapt based on this feedback.
What else? Life in America?
For me, it was very much like in Europe. It's good life. I've always seen America like a big casino. Like if everything is good, it's a big bet. If you're good in your life financially, so if you have a good job, good revenues, everything's perfect. It's dream of everything. You have good education. But if one thing fails, it could be a nightmare. If you lose your job and you get sick, you can quickly get homeless. If you don't have the revenue, it's very, very difficult. Because especially in San Francisco, it's very hard. When I was in San Francisco, a lot of people had 2 or 3 different jobs because one job was not enough to sustain the family, which is hard. It's very hard. So when you are not in the good classes, it's very difficult. For instance, something that always surprised me is that a lot of Indians want to go to America. And what I've noticed in San Francisco is a lot of Indians who are top developers here. So they have very good salary for Indians, like 1 point or 2 lakhs in India, where you are a king. When you have 2 lakhs salary in India, you can have a very good life. You have your own driver, your own cleaners, few people working for you. And then they go to America. They have a higher salary, but the salary is very low compared to the housing market, the healthcare market, education market. That actually their life is lower.
Life quality
is lower. That's something surprised me because you were the king there and you go there and you are lower.
It was my big battle when I was in engineering college to not give the GRE and go to America because society was looking down upon me for it in India.
Yeah.
Because there's societal pressure that, hey, you know what? You're probably just not ambitious enough. Why do you want to live in this country? But it was my argument that I would rather be a king here than go there and be one of the crowd.
Yeah, that's a good one. And so in America, if you are good, you have a good job, everything's great. But if you get sick or if you lose your apartment or something, it can quickly be very difficult because healthcare is super expensive. Education is super expensive. Housing is very expensive. So you need to, but if you have that, it's perfect dream.
Dream life.
But if you don't, and everything is related. For instance, your healthcare insurance is related to your work contract. So if you lose your work contract, you lose your healthcare insurance. And if you get sick in between two jobs, then you have to pay everything cash, and it's basically impossible. It can quickly be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
One kind of treatment if you have like a fracture of your arm.
Yeah, but my kid had he had a small issue. He had temperature or something. In Europe, when you have that, you go to hospital and you pay maybe €20, barely nothing, because we have social security.
For a fever.
So we did like good Europeans. We went to the hospital to check if the kids doesn't have something. He get an ice cream to know the temperature. So they gave him an ice cream. They checked temperature of the thing, a few medicines, came back. I think we went there 30 minutes. It costed us $2,100. It was €20 in Europe. And so if you are rich, no problem. If you have an insurance, we didn't have an insurance because we were Europeans. If you have an insurance, that's okay. But if it happens, and that's a very small thing. So imagine a real accident. If it happens at a bad time, it could be a life-changing moment.
Which actually happens to people.
It happens to people. There are a lot of homeless. So you would be surprised about the crime and the homeless people in San Francisco.
So again, I don't know how true this is because I've not been to America since 2018. But we've had people who've come on the show and they're saying that parts of America are growing a lot, like new cities. Austin is coming up a lot. Denver is coming up a lot. But the old power centers, which is New York and San Francisco, are degrading.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true?
Yeah, that's true. People are leaving San Francisco because of crimes increasing, drugs increasing, homeless increasing. And the costs are super high, so they want to relocate, especially now after the pandemic and home working facilities, people prefer to relocate.
But it's still a big business market.
It's still Google, Microsoft, Apple. It's difficult to beat.
How do Europeans generally look at America? Is it aspirational to go there?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of things to learn. Like in product design, they are very good. Marketing, they are the pro of marketing.
Yeah, best.
Service, they are the pro of service. Like how they serve in restaurant or they are very good in a lot of things. So they are leader for real reasons. But there are also drawbacks. That's why it's a mixed field.
What I like the most about Americans are the conversations. Best conversations I ever hear are on American podcasts.
Yes.
And that says a lot.
Yeah, they are very good storytellers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's because when they get kids, my kids, when they were there, a very young age, like 3 years or 4 years old, they are on the stage in front of the class and they have to present things every week. So they get very early on in their teaching, they teach kids to present things. They had something called, what was the name? I don't remember the name of the thing, but every week the kid had to bring something from home, go in front of every student and explain why it is important. Show and tell. And every week. And so they practice a lot of that.
Wow.
Which is difficult when you do interviews. Because when I arrived in the US and I did interviews with Americans, everyone felt very smart for me. But most of them were bullshitting or trying to show themselves better than what they are.
Yeah.
It took me time to understand because when you listen to them, they are so good that it feels that they are really, really, really good. The reality is a bit different. They're very good at
selling,
selling, talking. So you have to look behind that.
How do you look behind it?
I think it's come with experience.
Pattern recognition.
Yeah.
You need to pick up where people are bullshitting.
Yeah. One of the things we do in recruitment is we don't discuss too much at Odoo. We actually do real exercise. So if you recruit a developer, make him develop. If you recruit an engineer, make him design architecture, understand business flow, to discuss about business flow, but don't talk about the resume. They will just make you feel like they're the best. If you talk about resume, you won't understand anything.
Yeah, I was telling some American friends of mine, these are not like Indian Americans, like American Americans, white guys, black guys. I was telling them that what I admire about your culture a lot is the whole sales culture. You project yourself very well. Like I have learned that. And honestly, I'm using it in India. Yeah. I think there's a lot for Indians to learn because we are the opposite of it. Yeah. Like for us, there's a lot of people who, even if they're really good, they're too shy to tell.
Yeah.
Do you see that about India?
Yeah. Americans are much, much better at that. Yeah.
Something India can learn from America.
Of course. That, marketing, product design, they are very good on this.
What would you hire an American for? Marketing?
For sure. Especially in content. Content writer, storytelling, they are very good.
Because of this show and tell, and I think because of the television culture.
Also, it's their native language. For us, English is our second language. So I'm pretty sure, for me at least, I would have better answer in French. It helps when it's your native language.
If you enjoyed this clip from the Ranveer Show, we've uploaded a ton of other clips related to a ton of other topics. So explore the channel because there's something for everyone.